Alright, so I was wrong. These are not the same beers. They've changed two things. The distillery remains constant, the brewery remains constant. However, this is a Scottish oatmeal stout, which you can probably guess by the color. It's certainly not a golden beer. And so what they've done is they've aged this in a Irish whiskey cask. Excellent. So, this is a beer to be savored. It's matured for mellowness and depth of flavor, aromas of dark chocolate, espresso, and vanilla bean, a full malt character with a hint of molasses. Pairs well with full flavored foods like rich stews and fresh shellfish. Best served ice cold in a Yebisu glass that you purchased yourself in Tokyo. Oh shit! Excellent! It didn't say that. You can imagine what it said. It wasn't this, but it's a glass. I don't give a fuck. Anyway. I can rant on in my videos, I know, so I'm trying to make this concise. So there's the pour. God, yeah, that's dark enough. Oh my god, that's chocolate. It smells like hot chocolate, but it doesn't have any of the steam or the heat coming off of it. It really does, though. Amazing. Amazing. Put that next to my other one with the two caps, too. So, let's dig in. It really does smell like a Starbucks chocolate frappuccino or something. There's a bit of coffee in there too, but the chocolate is quite a lot stronger. It's like 66-33, I guess. Oh, is this stronger? It's weaker. Okay, it's 6.1. I think that's the carbonation. The head is a lot better on this one when I pour it. I think that's the carbonation tricking me into thinking it's more alcoholic than it is. It may be aged in a barrel, and it may be an oatmeal stout, which generally aren't considered like a fresh, crisp flavor. Definitely a fresh, crisp flavor, which is impressive. I like it. You don't necessarily equate that with a stout, especially like an Irish style kind of heavy, well, Scottish heavy oatmeal stout in an Irish whiskey barrel. I don't know if they used Jameson, but the green label, they're definitely playing into those expectations of a Jameson, if only strictly for marketing purposes. They don't name the distillery. Yeah. Pretty, not harsh, but bitey carbonation. The molasses flavor comes through more than the chocolate does. The chocolate on the nose, but in the flavoring, the molasses, that kind of like treacly, dark, sugary, not even brown sugar, we're talking molasses here, right? That really thick, almost metallic kind of flavor to it. The metallic can come from the oats, actually, maybe. But it's molasses generally definitely does have that metallic taste to it. Molasses is what was left over when they made the sugar. It was like the poor people's sugar, yeah. It's nice to cook with, depending on what you're making, but it definitely isn't like a fancy flavor, historically, I mean. Yeah, it has its uses, but it's not considered a nice ingredient to use for most things. But, you know, if you have someone who knows what they're doing and molasses flavor comes out, it's balanced well with other things, like that carbonation bites through. Yeah. This reminds me much more of Nick's, like Chill Hop Nick's barrel-aged bourbon stout, rather than the Gorilla one that I talked about. The Gorilla one is smooth as fuck and vanilla-y. Nick's was much more that bitey kind of carbonation with more of like coffee notes to it. Much more of a roasted rather than a velvety smooth chocolate one. Yeah. Nice though. There's one more. Alright kids, there's one more. I hope there's no kids watching. Anyway, this is the Innis & Gunn Caribbean Rum Cask. This I remember. The original one, the second one I don't remember having way back. Every Christmas, which I guess why I'm getting this now in December, they would, in Canada, the regular one was always available, but then they'd have these kind of like, it was like a 3-bottle set. And I remember the Caribbean Rum Cask being available, let's say. So this is a Scottish red beer. It's kind of like an amber. Matured for spiciness. This is a beer to be savored. It is a Caribbean rum cask matured for spiciness and richness of flavor. Aromas of rum, demerara, which is a kind of sugar, more like a brown sugar. Dried fruits and spice, warming malt character with hints of vanilla and oak. all of these have vanilla and oak in them because that's quintessential barrel flavoring, especially the oak part. But the vanilla does come from the oak. The bitterness is understated, leaving plenty of room for a long, spicy, sweet finish. It is great on its own, and it's paired well with cheese and chutney, cured meats, and fruity puddings. Best served ice cold in whatever the fuck glass you want. Excellent. Again, this is going to be not quite as dark as that last one, but I saved this for last because I remember having this in Toronto. So. And the head on this, I mean, I'm pouring not the same way every time, but I'm fairly consistent. The head on this is even thicker, yeah. Some of that's from my pouring, but that's probably also because of the CO2 levels, but I could be wrong. Yeah, this one smells like not like a meal. Like this smells more like food does. I wish I could be more specific than that. Give me a sec. Almost like a really, really rich tomato sauce. There's like a savoriness to the smell. Yeah, like a basil heavy tomato sauce. The spiciness should come with a bite, not necessarily an herbal flavor. And I'm not saying it'll taste like that, but this almost is exactly in between the first two. The sweetness of the first one and the maltiness and roasted aspect of the second one, this almost plays like a kind of middle child almost. Or like the son of, yeah. Again, I've been in Korea 10 years in a couple of months. So I said I had this in Toronto. It's been ages since I had one of these. At least 11 years, yeah. There's almost like a yacht, like toffee, like really chewy, sugary. That could be from the Demerara. Yeah, like a brown sugarness to it. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, the Demerara definitely comes through. Alright, what is Demerara sugar? Demerara sugar is partially refined raw sugar that is made from the first pressing of sugarcane. So think like organic cane sugar that you get at the store. It's not that refined white stuff, right? It has that, it's not quite brown, it's not quite yellow either. It's like a tawny. Beige, no, beige is too light. Tawny is the right word. If you don't know what tawny means, T-A-W-N-Y. Anyway, there's a badge in Boy Scouts you can get. It's called the Tawny Badge. Anyway, Tawny Star. Yeah, that's definitely comes through first. White rum would, I imagine, have more of that refined white sugar part, which makes it clear, right? That darker rum or spiced rum that you get would be more of like a natural, again, partially refined, like it says. This is nice, though. Everyone has their own merits. And I do like the original one most, just, I guess, my memory and nostalgia speaking there. But, this one is really drinkable. Not as much as the first one, but the second one's really good too, but it's certainly not like, you wouldn't want like 4 of them. You could probably have, the first one you could probably have a 6-pack to yourself over an evening. This one you could probably have 3 or 4. Maybe 5, and then the oatmeal stout one, you could probably have 2, maybe 3. As far as drinkability goes for all 3. These are all killer though, and I still can't believe that Lotte Mart has these. One of the Korean craft beer guys I follow, he had a live video the other night, and he had the 3 beers, and I had no idea he got them here. His channel's way bigger than mine, and I imagine that someone gifted it to him, or he imported it somehow. Now it turns out that you can get them at Lotte Mart. So, 100% go to Lotte Mart. This is the most affordable way you're going to get barrel-aged beer. All 3 of these were $9,900. They were $33 each, $3,300 each. So this, if you haven't had anything barrel-aged, or maybe you've seen them and you're like, oh shit, it's like $18. This is the absolute most accessible way to do that, economically speaking. So, 100% go pick these up, because they are not stellar, incredible beers, and I will admit my bias having the nostalgia effect. But given the quality that goes into this stuff and the price that you're paying, absolutely worth at least trying. So definitely go to your local marts. This might be something that they've just imported a shit ton of and they're going to just sell them and then they'll be gone. So I wouldn't necessarily assume that these are going to be here forever. So definitely going to pick up some Innis and Gunns and enjoy, and let me know what you think, because this is such a treat. I love it so much.